Syracuse, New York, on the campus of Syracuse University. We're at the historic Carrier Dome where for the last 39 years, championship banners have been hung in the rafters. Tonight, the war rages on for the series championship trophy as Adam Anderson and Gravedigger and Neil Elliott and Max D are deadlocked at the top of the point standings. It's the irresistible force against the immovable object, and only one will guarantee his date with destiny in Orlando. It's the home of the Orange. This is Stadium Championship Series 2. This is Monster Jam. Welcome to Monster Jam. I'm your host, Scott Jordan, alongside Gravediggers Morgan Kane and Leslie Mears. And tonight's Stadium Championship Series 2 takes over the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. And here we are again at the end of the season, and it's still Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, Neil Elliott and Max D, 1 and 2 in the standings, 1 and 1 actually right now. What makes this the greatest rivalry in motorsports?
So I think with Max D and Gravedigger, they've always given the fans exactly what they want, pure carnage. And with Adam and Neil coming down to the end of the season, it's going to be a wild ride.
For more on the competition, let's send it down to the track with Leslie Mears.
The frontrunners have remained the same the entire season on Stadium Championship Series 2. Adam Anderson in Gravedigger and Neil Elliott in Max D have earned 75% of the event championships available during the season. Tonight, they find themselves tied coming into the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. I can't wait to see who finds themselves on top at the end of tonight.
Thank you, Leslie. Here are the point standings coming into tonight's event. Adam Anderson, Neil Elliott, just an absolute deadlock with 422 apiece. Everybody else in this field mathematically eliminated, but you can still act as a spoiler, and Cole Stevens is right there in third place.
I think the spoiler is what the show is all about. You want to try and throw them off of their points, and anytime you really get the chance to line up against them, you want to try to do your best and really push them out of the way.
Yeah, the overall event championship up for grabs, the series championship down to 2, and we are going to start off with Paul Strong in that zombie fire body out of Malacca, Minnesota. So Paul, with a nice slap wheelie, gets it up there. The good start for him in the zombie fire. We haven't seen some strong freestyle runs from him lately, but he is more than capable of putting something out here to get the fans up on their feet.
Well, the best thing about having Paul come out in zombie is that he is going to be consistent. He's going to give you a good freestyle. He's going to set the bar, give the fans what they want, maybe even a little bit of ragged edge too, and get those zombie arms moving in the fans.
He began driving all the way back in 2006. A lot of fans may know him as a driver of Storm Damage. Now he runs for Natural Disaster Racing, and this season behind the wheel of Zombie Fire, that incredible fire and ice collection. And there's a donut for Paul Strong in Zombie Fire. When all else fails, Morgan, just spin it around and get the fans going.
Well, I think what he's doing right now is he's just trying to build his time, because it looks like he's got a rear steer issue. Rear steer stuck one way, can't really get it back to, and even with the neutral, you're trying to get your neutral safety switches off in the cab, but it looks like Paul's just doing the best that he can to get around and get a good score from the fans.
Now you see the wheels are locked up there, so that's going to make it more difficult. We talked about this earlier in the year. How hard is it to steer one of these things when you don't have that rear steer working for you?
It's honestly a lot of fun. I mean, coming from me, I'm a Gravedigger driver. It's ragged edge. You want to make sure that you have something that's spectacular. It's a lot of fun, and it throws a little bit of wrench in what you're doing as the everyday, I'm going to just drive around and jump things. This is really cool, and it gives you the opportunity to go out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, this could be a different thing for Paul Strong because he can't square up and take those jumps. He's got to come off the side of the ramps, and we've seen through this year a lot of these more exciting and bigger jumps are coming off the side when you have to cross-thread, and right now that is what Paul Strong in Zombie Fire is doing, cross-threading all the way around that freestyle ramp. So a great move for Paul Strong in that Zombie Fire truck.
I love it, man. Paul's doing such a great job, even giving the fans a little bit of ragged edge early in the show. The fans are excited. Can't wait to see what they give him for a score.
And there's some more donuts for Paul Strong in Zombie Fire. I am impressed by this run. He had some problems, some mechanical issues with that steer. He made the best of it and made the most of it. So look at that score for Paul Strong. Zombie Fire 7.593. I like where he's going.
And as a driver, you want to make sure that you're setting the bar going out early like this. Anything above a 7 is a great score as a first run.
That's what you want to see. You got to set the tone for the rest of the competitors in this field. Let everybody else know what you're doing, what they need to do to get over top of you. And here is Stephen Thompson in Earthshaker out of Hagerstown, Maryland. We've seen Stephen Thompson up and down the road throughout the year. Now behind the wheel of that Earthshaker truck, which in my opinion is one of the coolest trucks in Monster Jam. It's almost like a 12,000-pound toy.
Definitely, and Stephen Thompson's been doing such a good job this season. And I was actually in the Gravedigger shop this week while they were there working, and we were talking about, how he's really stepped his game up. The truck is acting exactly the way that he wants to. He's gaining the confidence that he needs, and it's always a pleasure to watch him drive.
Been driving Hurricane 4 since 2011. Brother Mike drives it well. Mike and I had a viral moment in Minneapolis last year that we talk about. Stephen and I joke about what can I do with my hands. So Mike, a very funny guy. Stephen as well. Get along great with both of them. They are very, very close. They talk to each other and inspire each other behind the wheel of these Monster Jam trucks. Stephen Thompson in Earthshaker trying to get something going off of that little jump there. Not bad for him. The body hanging on, and he can't make it over that stopper in the middle of the track.
And there's nothing wrong with shedding the body. The fans absolutely love that. That's when you get that true reaction, the wow moment from the fans, because if you start cross-threading some stuff, things are going to come loose on the body and it's going to start flying off. It's a really cool look.
The capacity crowd here at the Carrier Dome. This is always one of our biggest shows. One of my favorite buildings. That top is almost as soundproof as what it looks like, but it actually enhances the sound. And a bicycle, you see that view? That's exactly what that Earthshaker is doing up on those two wheels.
And up here in the booth, it just shows how much control these guys have with the trucks. I mean, you're on two wheels, almost on sidewalls, but you have plenty of time to bring it back down if you just stay nice and relaxed. And Steven looks like he's going to give that wow moment to the fans.
And he's going to end up on the hood there. Didn't push the throttle and did not get that acceleration up the ramp. So Stephen Thompson in Earthshaker, a failed backflip attempt, but still has your new leader. That 8.450, that bicycle set the tone for his freestyle run. Let's hear from Earthshaker driver Stephen Thompson.
You know what, man? Like I said, it's our first time here in Syracuse. Truck was running great. It's an incredible truck this weekend. Truck felt fast. Shocks were working great. Wanted to come out here and put on the best possible show for these fans. Had a good run going right there, like I said, and went for the backflip. Didn't hit it quite hard enough.
More Monster Jam freestyle is on the way, but coming up next, it's the America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Racing Recap from Syracuse. This portion of Monster Jam is brought to you by America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses. It's not just a better deal, it's America's best. Welcome back to Syracuse, New York. This is Stadium Championship Series 2. It is all on the line tonight for Neil Elliott and Max D. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. 12 other Monster Jam superstars are going to try to rain on their parade. Earlier tonight, it was America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Racing, and Adam Anderson and Gravedigger made his way to Victory Circle, and this is how he got there. Round 1 against Saigon Shaker and Ryan Disharoon, and look how even they were coming off that starting line.
I think really the difference here is Adam just nails these corners. He just makes sure that rear steers turn before he goes into the corner, and it's easy, nice setup right to the finish line.
Saigon Shaker would hit that right rear tire on that dirt mound before the finish line. He would flip, his night would be over, and Adam Anderson and Gravedigger would move on to round number 2. There is that spectacular flip by Ryan Disharoon and Saigon Shaker. A tough break for him, but moving on into round number 2, it was Gravedigger up against Scott Hartsock in Slinger.
It's always difficult when you're racing Scott Hartsock. He's got that pure Ford power, and he pushes it to the limit. He's a veteran of the sport, and he will make sure that you're on your toes. But Adam is just on a rail tonight, and he makes sure that it's nice and easy to the finish line every time.
And Scott Hartsock with some trouble coming out of that final turn. Adam Anderson again would win in round number 2 and move on to the America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Racing semifinal, where he would be up against Neil Elliott. This was a huge matchup, Morgan, for points and the season.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the pressure's on these two, but they thrive on pressure. These are the two biggest household names in the sport, and for them to come neck and neck down to the finish line, it's all pure power to the finish line.
And look how close they were. 3-3 coming into this matchup. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger moves to 4-3 against Neil Elliott and Max D in the 2019 season. Let's go to our racing finals. Adam Anderson, Gravedigger now lined up against Scott Buetow and El Toro Loco Ice, and Buetow had the advantage going around that first turn.
He did. Adam's just so consistent tonight, but Buetow is giving him a run for his money. That whole shot off the line was great. but he went a little bit too wide in that last corner, and that cost him the race.
And Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, the ultimate opportunist, got that close, tight turn and sort of deviated from the original plan he had in the other rounds where he was taking it wide, just like Buetow. So Adam Anderson, Gravedigger wins the final matchup. He is your America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Racing winner, and he added the exclamation point with the donuts, a statement made tonight by Gravedigger. Now the points standing so close coming into this event, and Adam Anderson, Gravedigger going to make up quite a few points on Neil Elliott and Max D. Now a 2-point lead for the season.
Every single point tonight matters because it's so tight for the season in Gravedigger with Max D. So every time you line up together, you got to make sure that you're gaining the points that you need.
And that was just the first competition of the night. More points still on the board. Earlier, Leslie caught up with our winner, Adam Anderson.
Well, Adam, that was a huge win for you in the semifinal rounds. Not only did you take out Neil Elliott, which you needed for points, but you picked up your 50th career racing round win, 51, as you take the win here tonight in Syracuse.
You know, it's unbelievable to go out and have competitors like this, but guess what? Old Gravedigger came out on top. And it's because of all these people in these seats driving me all day long, man. They're in that pit party, they say, man, we know you got it, you can win this. So these guys did it. And because of this bad to the bone crew behind me, they got us rocking and rolling, and we were able to take those guys out.
Let's hear it one more time for your racing champion tonight, Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
Now we're back at freestyle. Here comes Kristen Hope in Wolf's Head. Kristen making her stadium debut. What kind of pressure might she be feeling inside the cab of Wolf's Head?
Well, anytime you come into a stadium, there's always pressure, but she's no stranger to a Monster Jam truck. I mean, she's been on the Triple Threat Arena Series, and that honestly gives you more seat time than you can ever prepare for. So here in a stadium, she's able to really open it up a little bit, gives her a little bit more freedom, and honestly, I would like to hear what she has to say, so let's hear what she had to say before the show.
Well, I don't know if there's really any preparing for my first stadium event, but I've done my best to make sure that the truck's 100% safe. One of the cool things a lot of people don't know about me is I love working on my own truck. It's something that is one of my biggest passions and got me into this, really. And so I made sure that this truck's ready to rock. If the truck's ready to rock, I'm ready to rock, so we're just going to have fun.
And she looks like she is ready to have fun. Just 19 years old, out of New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Got her start from J.R. McNeil. Crewed for a season with the Exterminator Motorsports team, and now behind the wheel of Wolf's Head after a brief stint behind the wheel of Raising Cane. So Kristen Hope trying to make a name for herself in Monster Jam. It's got to be a lot of pressure being up against some of the greatest of all time when you're just 19 years old.
It is. But I mean, I've been there, and honestly, I feel like when you are able to wrench on your own truck and be able to know the ins and outs of how the parts work and how everything should react, it makes you that much better of a driver because you're able to tune it the way that you want it and the way that you can drive it.
And she is trying to have a great freestyle run here. That truck is an incredibly fine-tuned machine. She's working on it. Roy Pridgeon here with her as well. A donut for Kristen Hope in Wolf's Head. Got to get some big air in this, so we haven't seen that yet in her run. Tries to get a sky wheelie, a little underwhelming on there, but is able to come back and try again on the other side.
Well, one thing that you try to focus on, especially when you're coming from an arena setting to the stadium setting, is that when you come to the stadiums, you have the tendency to get lost on the stadium because it is so big. But she's done a great job. Her momentum was great, and the fans liked it. They went judgeszone.com, put her in third place. It's great. And
Donut's a part of the Triple Threat series. She was able to put one in at the end, so that was a nice thing for the fans to see. Kristen Hope in Wolf's Head Motor Oil, that debut, that nice score for her, so a good freestyle run. And Kelvin Raymer in Time Flies is going to sky it right off the bat. I love that truck, and he can do some amazing things in it.
Well, Kelvin definitely has the confidence in his truck, the confidence in his equipment. Rosalie Raymer is his daughter, and they've done such a great job of being a good team for the sport of Monster Jam. He always pushes his stuff to the limit, and it's great to see him out here.
Out of Watsonville, California, father of Rosalie Raymer. Kelvin Raymer, back when we used to have the wheelie competition, almost every single weekend was winning that. We used to call him the Wheelie King, and he is letting Brodozer know that Time Flies is here and ready for a great freestyle run.
Well, it looks like Kelvin has a broke rear axle. The right rear is not spinning, and that's why every time he comes off a jump, it's tossing him to the right side. The one with the blue tire, that's the one that looks like it's broke.
So Kelvin Raymer, time flies, not going to get full use of that clock, but that first jump where he just sent it off the ramp into a bicycle, great move. Got a little bit of a wheelie on that one as well. But up next, it is more freestyle. Neil Elliott and Max D going to try to get those points back from Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. Monster Jam on the way in Syracuse. Welcome back to Monster Jam. Morgan Kane, Scott Jordan, Leslie Mears calling the action from the Carrier Dome. Neil Elliott and Max D has got to make something happen. We've been talking about this, Morgan. Every competition counts. He lost some points in racing to Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
There's a lot of noise and a lot of talk about what's going down on this season, especially on this tour. You know, you've got two of the best drivers possibly ever to set foot in a monster truck, and it's been great to watch them all season long, and the battle continues today because they're tied going into this show, so every single point matters.
Neil Elliott has competed in 8 Monster Jam World Finals events. He's been driving for Tom Meents since 2003. That is his entire Monster Jam career. Max D is the most decorated truck in World Finals history, but Neil Elliott trying to get that first and elusive Monster Jam World Finals championship. He gets a nice jump there in Max D, so some good air, gets it back on the 4 tires, and he's going to go around for another chance at that freestyle ramp, cross-threading through the middle of that jump, getting it down again. Neil Elliott so focused inside the cab of Max D.
What's always so nice about watching Neil's freestyles is that he carries so much momentum with the truck, is that it's one jump to the next, one jump to the next, and it's so great because he gets so much air that way. I mean, the coilover shocks that he has kind of gives him that good pop coming off of the jump, and the way this truck lands, I mean, Neil's a master at trying to make sure that this thing stays all on 4s the whole time, because if it comes up on 2 wheels, he's obviously the master at 2 wheels too, so he's just going to save it and keep on riding.
And you know that Adam Anderson is going to bring it in freestyle in the black and green wrecking machine, and you can't control that. All he can control is what he's doing right now, and he is so smooth. I think he does the smoothest drift turns in Monster Jam, and another big jump for Neil Elliott and Max D.
Yeah, definitely smooth for sure, and I think that right now Neil knows that he can put the pressure on Adam because going before him in freestyle, Adam's in the truck, he's watching to see what Neil does, and yet again the backflip ramp gets another person. Doesn't look like it's shaped exactly the way it should because the bumpers are hitting before they're even taken off.
No, and you do not see that from Neil Elliott very often, and he was incredibly frustrated inside the truck through the steering wheel. That is not what Neil Elliott wanted, but look at that score. Still gets him up into second, and Gravedigger is still to come. Right now, we go to Roy Pridgeon back in Ice Cream Man.
Once again, watching Roy Pridgeon drive, it's so much fun. He's such a great guy outside of the truck. It's so much fun to talk to him and really analyze like what he does on a day-to-day basis and outside of monster trucks. So to see him back in the truck, it's great. He always does such a great job. So much momentum that he carries, and even a cool little wheelie right there. That's sweet, man.
The last time we saw him, he was driving Wolf's Head, now Kristen Hope in that truck. And Roy Pridgeon back in Ice Cream Man. Still working for J.R. McNeil, stepped away from full-time action this year, now just kind of crewing behind the scenes, doing what he needs to do for J.R. McNeil and that entire crew. And tonight, he is driving, and this is a treat. Last year, he had the cones up movement that took Monster Jam by storm. The kids love this truck, the fans love this truck, and I love watching Roy Pridgeon take the freestyle track in Ice Cream Man.
And Scott, you talk about with the fans that love this truck. During the pit party, all you hear is the kids, "Where's Ice Cream Man? Where's Ice Cream Man?" And I always told Roy, I'm like, man, anytime you go to a cold place, you should just have ice cream setting out, waiting for all the kids at the pit party because they love this truck. They get so excited when they see that Ice Cream Man is out of Monster Jam.
When the music starts, the kids go nuts. We all know what that song was when we were kids, and having the Ice Cream Man come out on the track is a wonderful moment to see. If you haven't seen it live, I suggest you get out and watch Roy Pridgeon drive. He's now trying to get back across to the other side of the track. Did not clear that ramp on his last jump. Going to try again. Gets over it on that one. A nice slap wheelie for the Ice Cream Man. And there's some sky jumping for Roy Pridgeon. That's what we're looking for out of the Ice Cream Man.
And I just want to touch on it. Like we talk about ice cream, trucks coming through the neighborhood. If an ice cream truck came through the neighborhood, 1,500 horsepower, and Roy Pridgeon was driving, I would definitely buy an ice cream cone.
I'd buy too, and he knows that. We've had that talk before. Roy Pridgeon and Ice Cream Man with a nice freestyle run. Let's take a look at some of those jumps. And Morgan, I think that score might be a little low. He was able to get some sky jumps off of this track.
Man, these fans are tough tonight. You know, I think anytime you go a little bit later in the freestyle lineup, they expect more from you. They expect the backflips. If you don't go near the backflip ramp or even attempt it, then they're going to really let you know it.
Our BKT Freestyle Top 5 still has Stephen Thompson and Earthshaker at the top of the leaderboard. Neil Elliott and Max D frustrated, but in second place right now. Zombie Fire, Wolf's Head, Ice Cream Man round out your top 5. Right now it's the original Superglue Corporation Pit Report.
Rosalie Raymer pulls off a big win in Wildfire in round 1, but you can see here on the floor of the Carrier Dome, she's got a busted hydraulic line. She and her crew chief Jackson working feverishly to get that fixed.
As Rosalie Raymer and company try to get Wildflower back on the track, more freestyle coming up, but next, it's the Great Clips 2 Wheel Skills Challenge recap. This portion of Monster Jam is brought to you by Great Clips. Great Clips, it's gonna be great. This portion of Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master Toys. Real trucks, real action, Monster Jam. Beautiful view of downtown Syracuse. We are on the campus of Syracuse University, one of the most historically acclaimed athletic and academic universities in the country, and always a great crowd for Monster Jam. Earlier tonight, the Great Clips 2 Wheel Skills Challenge took place, and there is Bryce Kenny with a nice nose wheelie. Tries to back it up and could not make that full backup happen on the moonwalk. Here he goes again now, trying to pop it up one more time, and he's going to miss out. He's going to finish in 5th place. Stephen Thompson and Earthshaker attempted the bicycle, gets it sideways, and lands it. Nice move.
That was pretty cool. I think that once we get towards the end of the season, everybody's getting really comfortable with the 2 wheel skills, and Adam Anderson and Gravedigger here, I mean, just trying to do something that his brothers basically created with the moonwalk to, I don't even know what you would call it. It's just absolutely insane what these guys can do.
He was able to get 2 bicycles there. Rosalie Raymer, look at that. She's going to try to save it, and she did. So an incredible move for Rosalie Raymer earlier tonight in this competition. Try to get a bicycle, and here is the master, Neil Elliott, in his first attempt. Gets up on the nose of Max D, backed it up, kept it steady. That throttle control he can display is amazing, and he's able to get it back up over that freestyle obstacle. An incredible hit from Max D's Neil Elliott. That is why he has won 21 of these competitions.
I mean, you said it twice just then, master. He is the master at 2 Wheels Skills Challenge, and I hope to see him at the World Finals for the 2 Wheel Skills competition.
Here are the results for the Great Clips 2 Wheel Skills Challenge. Neil Elliott with a masterful run, 9.272, his 10th of the year. Rosalie Raymer had a great run herself. And look at Adam Anderson. So those 2 points from racing, Neil Elliott gets them back. And we moved into freestyle with a complete tie at the top of the leaderboard. Leslie Mears caught up with Neil Elliott after his big win. Let's go back and see what Neil had to say.
Well, Neil, it's that back and forth game that you and Adam Anderson have been playing all year as you pick up the 2 wheel skill win, and you guys are once again tied.
Man, that's awesome, you know, and it makes it exciting too, you know. I love it, you know, I hate seeing people go out there and just blow a point series out of the water, and Adam and I are making this a whole lot of fun.
Now that missed backflip earlier could cost Neil Elliott the entire series championship. We saw him thrashing in the pits earlier. Rosalie Raymer and Wildflower now back on the track and ready to go. The 2016 Monster Jam Rookie of the Year suffered from broken front steering in racing, which she won. Couldn't make it back, but now she is ready for freestyle. And Morgan, we've seen some incredible freestyle runs in the career of Rosalie Raymer.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you got to give the hats off to the Monster Jam mechanics that can really get the trucks back out in a matter of minutes, because one of those hydraulic lines on the front steering can be a pesky issue, and you could fight that all season, but they've done such a great job really quick getting her back out there. And like you said, man, she's a great freestyler. I mean, she points and shoots and gives the fans exactly what they want to see, which is the big air, the wow moments that they look for, and especially when they have the power of their device in front of them to judge your score of freestyle.
Now she has a great crew chief at Jackson Suits. He is also from that Max D lineage, so he has now come over to Wildflower and helping Rosalie Raymer, and she knows a lot about it as well. The former mechanical engineering major from Georgia Tech University. She knows how to thrash and render wrench on her own truck, learned from her father, Kelvin Raymer, and a nice sky jump for Rosalie Raymer in Wildflower. That is what she has come to know for, is these big jumps, getting massive air, and we're going to see a lot more of that at World Finals 20 in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. I mean, keeping the momentum up. I think this far into her run, she needs to start taking some more risks. But with this backflip ramp, man, as a driver, I would stay away from it because it seems like it's taking everybody down.
Now she has that low center of gravity and she lands it. She gets sideways, but that is a successful backflip for Rosalie Raymer and Wildflower. That is a statement to the rest of the field here tonight at Syracuse.
That was an awesome backflip. I mean, perfectly timed, and with her not having a rear bumper, basically, she's able to clear that and get around and not let her bumper hit the dirt or the container.
And she's going to go back again, more time on the clock. Another jump for Rosalie Raymer in Wildflower. That one, she almost got sideways in the air and was able to steady out and land it. That is an incredible freestyle run for Wildflower.
That was a great run indeed, and the fans loved it. You know, they went on judgeszone.com, put her in first place, and the momentum that she had with the wow factors and the big air tops it off. It's a first place run.
Now your new leader, Rosalie Raymer, Wildflower, now on top of the truck, letting everybody in Syracuse know she is incredibly excited with that run, and they are too. And here comes Candace Jolly in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Morgan, she's had a quiet night so far in this event, in this competition, so not what we're used to seeing yet from Candace Jolly.
Candace has always been a racer at heart, but I really feel like her freestyle game has stepped up because of the evolution of what we've done in freestyle with Monster Jam. I mean, it's crazy. You know, we're doing backflips, we're jumping 30, 40 feet in the air, and Candace is kind of catching on and knows exactly what she needs to do because she is a veteran of the sport, knows what the fans want, and I think she does a great job at freestyle.
Now, she's so competitive, so athletic, and so good at every competition. She can beat anybody on any given night. She's trying to make something happen now. A nice little jump for Monster Mutt Dalmatian, and a sideways jump for the truck as well. So she got off the edge of that ramp and was able to land it. Got some good extension, some nice air, and landed very far away from that ramp. That's what you want to see in a freestyle run from Candace Jolly.
One element that you definitely need to have is confidence in your crew chief, confidence in your truck, and I think Candace really has that this year. She's done such a great job at really being able to push the limits of what she can do as a driver, and the track change of what we're running this year, it's really been able to put us into lineups with some big hits, and I think she's done a great job this season to be able to really explore outside of her comfort zone.
And being able to have that trust and that relationship with your crew chief goes a long way when all you have to do is worry about getting in the truck and driving. That's got to take a lot of pressure off of you as a driver.
Absolutely. It gives you time to focus because your job at the end of the night is to make sure these fans are happy. And honestly, I feel like that score was a little low from the fans. We're going to have a talk with them.
I think we can have a talk with the fans, but Candace Jolly, an underwhelming run for her. I think she did a lot better than what that score says. Had some good jumps, but ended it a little earlier. BKT Freestyle Top 5 still has Rosalie Raymer and Wildflower sitting on top of that leaderboard. Right now, it's time for the science of Monster Jam, fueled by Monster Energy.
This is the science of Monster Jam, fueled by Monster Energy.
An exciting new obstacle was added to stadiums this year, and Mike Chismar is here to talk to us about the 8-pack backflip ramp. So how did this ramp kind of evolve and make its way on the stadium circuit?
Well, the origin for that 8-pack was actually inside the arena. We needed new permanent obstacles to help us. Sometimes we have inconsistent dirt. The only way that we could get permanent obstacles where drivers could perform consistently was if we put logs, tires, so therefore you see the 8-pack here in the back that we decided to start incorporating into the stadiums.
So what are some of the technical aspects of building this ramp to specs based on the drawings that you guys created?
Well, we do have drawings, we do have track maps, everything has to be built within an inch. We'll do inspections after. What we did with this 8-pack is we basically raised it for our stadiums up to 5 feet, which is basically almost the same height as our monster truck tires here. And the reasoning for that is we want something hard for the trucks to be able to hit to get straight pop. Well, we started experimenting a little bit, trying to get smaller backflips incorporated into the stadium tracks as well. We tried a few different things from dirt to small dumpsters to the 8-pack. And the 8-pack seems to have worked best for us. We can adjust the amount of air pressure in the tires to help the trucks get up, and It's smaller, it's a different style of backflip, so the drivers have to perform a little bit differently, but the hard tires allow them to get up, get the impact, and get over the loop if we need them to.
The 8-pack backflip ramp, a new and exciting addition to Monster Jam Freestyle. We've seen some great runs, more on the way next. Mohawk Nation takes center stage in Syracuse. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, friend of the show, our co-host here, Morgan, trying to get something happening in freestyle. We know he is all about the moment, trying to live in that moment, doesn't care about the past. He's been waiting for a great freestyle run since Oakland this year. What's it going to take for Bryce Kenny to win this thing?
Well, honestly, I think it's just going to take Bryce to just be calm and relaxed and just hang out and have fun. I mean, when the pressure's on, Bryce tends to overthink everything because he is such a smart guy, and he wants to be able to put the best show on for the fans possible. But some of his best runs come from when he's just out having fun and enjoying his time as a Monster Jam driver.
Bryce Kenny will say he's his own worst critic and his own worst enemy as well. He's had an up and down year inside of that truck. They battle mechanical issues on and off, trying to make tonight his night in Syracuse. 3 career freestyle wins in stadiums, 1 this year in Oakland, trying to make it number 4 tonight. Out of Greensboro, North Carolina, he's a product of Campbell University. The former Division I soccer athlete broke into the sport driving Monster Mutt, and now behind the wheel of Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. But Morgan, he can drive anything. He's been a drag racer as well, and now successful in Monster Jam.
Yeah, Bryce is such a great driver, such a great spokesperson for Monster Jam and for Mohawk Nation. I feel like everything that he does it with passion, and that's where it's kind of hard to find in this world today. I mean, the passion that this guy brings to the sport is great because he loves his fans, he loves the sponsors, he loves everything about this sport, and he's so intrigued on trying how can we make it better. So with him being able to think about everything and more of a scientific fact of the Monster Jam side of things, he wants to be able to push these trucks to the limit. And this season, it's been tough for him. You know, him and his crew chief have been battling it out. They've been trying to make sure that everything on the truck stays 100% tight. But for Bryce, he's just ready to get outside of his comfort zone, and this 8-pack could give him the sweet flip that he's looking for.
He's trying to do this all year, and he lands the 8-pack backflip, Bryce Kenny, and look at that on the nose and saves it. That is the wow moment. He talks about that week in and week out. What can you do after a backflip? How about you save the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior?
Man, that was a wild save, wild backflip, and I think that's what the fans have been waiting all night to see.
An incredible freestyle moment for Bryce Kenny, and look at the score that will reflect his run. 9.410. There is the backflip, and he followed it up with one of the most incredible saves I've seen this season. Let's hear from Bryce Kenny.
Well, we fought so hard on this truck all year long. Last time we were in Seattle, I felt like I was a little too conservative. So the goal tonight was me versus that truck, and I wasn't going to let that Great Clips Mohawk truck beat me just one more time. So I wanted that so bad, and we just want to come out there and let it all hang out. And when I saw that Neil Elliott wasn't able to get that flip off the container, I said, you know what, let's go. Let's hit the 8-pack flip. I've always wanted to. It was game time, baby, and it worked.
Who's ready for America's best contacts and eyeglasses look-in?
Morgan, I know you love meeting fans at the pit party.
This is my favorite part of the entire show, is because you get a chance to meet the people that pay their hard-earned money to come out and support you. And when the kids bring all their merchandise, it truly lights your day up.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, buddy.
I want to know how to do backflips in a monster truck.
You want to know how to do a backflip in a monster truck? That's a great question. Well, here's what we gotta do. It's all about throttle rhythm. So you gotta approach the ramp really steady, keeping the same throttle rhythm. And as soon as the front tires start coming off the ground and hits the container, you power into it. And when the rear tires come off, you let go of the throttle and you hit the brake to bring the truck back down and settle on all fours. And hopefully it lands on all 4 BKT tires and you power on out and keep on going.
A great question from Dominic, and I guess if there's anyone you're going to ask about a backflip, it would be Scott Buetow. Your BKT Freestyle Top 5 has Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior on top of the leaderboard. More freestyle on the way in Syracuse. This portion of Monster Jam is brought to you by America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses. It's not just a better deal, it's America's best. Welcome back to Syracuse. More Monster Jam action here in the Carrier Dome. On the way, Dinosaur Barbecue, one of my favorite places to eat in town. Morgan, have you ever had a good old-fashioned Dinosaur Barbecue?
I have not. I've heard great things about it, but have not had the chance to make it out there. But Scott Buetow, right out the gate, huge cross thread. I love the way he's starting out his freestyle.
And debuted in 2011 driving Ironman from Crystal Lake, Illinois. A very intelligent guy, sky wheelie off the side and lands it in the middle of that stopper on the track, but gets off very, very clean landing for him off that freestyle ramp. So a nice move for Scott Buetow and El Toro Loco Ice. A very, very smart guy, college graduate. In his downtime, he's a senior design engineer, so he knows a thing or two about designing a lot of really cool things, including Monster Jam trucks and tracks.
Yeah, starting out in my career, Scott was a mentor for me. He was able to really be able to help me out, when I was driving Ironman and what we should do to make sure that we represent a brand well. And Scott's definitely a guy that knows the ins and outs of Monster Jam. He knows the business sides of things, and he really knows how to drive this truck. I mean, he's been doing it for years, and definitely a pioneer of the backflip. He's really pushed it for these fans, and it's been great for him to be part of the Monster Jam circuit.
He's putting together some big jumps, came off one sideways almost into a bicycle, but landed it back on the 4 tires. Now a couple jumps in the middle of that track, and there's another one. He likes that middle ramp on this side, keeps going back to it. 18 career freestyle wins for Scott Buetow. Would love to make it number 19. Already has one this year. And now he's going to try for something else. The backflip ramp always looming when you look at Scott Buetow in freestyle runs. You know he is going to plan something to get to that ramp throughout this 2 minutes.
Well, I think one thing that we can analyze from this year compared to all of his other years is that he has the confidence in his crew chief. David Stancil's from North Carolina. I worked alongside of him for a couple of years, and he really gives Scott the confidence to be able to perform tricks like that, no problem, makes it look easy.
A perfect landing. We heard him explain the dynamics of a perfect backflip to Dominic, and he just nailed one. So Dominic, that is exactly what Scott Buetow was talking about. Accelerated it when he had to, braked when he had to, and now he is going to send it back around that ramp, and a sky jump for Scott Buetow and El Toro Loco Ice.
Definitely. I know that Dominic's in the crowd jumping up and down, not even using the seat, because that's what the fans come to see. They want to see the wow moment, and Scott Buetow just gave it to him.
And he's going to park it on top of the cars, and he's going to get out of the truck and let the crowd have some love, and they're going to give it right back to him. Scott Buetow, El Toro Loco Ice. Here is one of those textbook jumps. Look at the landing on top of that pad, and then gets it down in a sky wheelie for El Toro Loco Ice.
Well, that first place spot is going to be hard to beat. Bryce Kinney and Mohawk Warrior really threw it down. Normal Scott Buetow run, really textbook. It's been great, but I think that we got one more person left that could possibly get that top spot.
There's one more truck left. BKT Freestyle Top 5. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior with that epic backflip off the 8-pack. And there is Bryce Kinney, and the purple is sweating off of his Mohawk as he has to watch Adam Anderson in Gravedigger take to the track.
He is definitely over there sweating it out because him and Adam have been battling it out. Bryce is a great driver, and he learns a lot from everybody in the sport. But this guy right here, Adam Anderson, has taught me more than anything in this whole sport of driving a monster truck and really being a performer for these fans. And Bryce takes alongside of that too. But really, to be able to watch somebody wheel a truck around, there's no one better than Adam Anderson.
And there is a great jump. Trademark Adam Anderson in that Gravedigger truck. Earlier tonight in freestyle, we saw Neil Elliott underwhelming on the backflip. Didn't land it, which we don't see a lot of from Neil Elliott. So this is the ultimate opportunity for Adam Anderson to take the lead with one more event left in Philadelphia for Stadium Championship Series 2. Morgan, it is all on the line. That bid to World Finals in Orlando is looming, and this is Adam Anderson's moment, and he's going to back up and send it.
I love it. I love it. See, everybody's been coming around that corner and not really hitting that thing really as hard as they should, and Adam knows exactly what the fans want to see because, the black and green wrecking machine, we don't slow down for anything, and backing up into the tunnel, big air like that, we know the fans are here, and that's what they want to see.
And he is a 5-time Monster Jam World Finals champion with 38 career freestyle wins, and he has come to a stop. He is going to try to restart it, and there is a good look at that EFI screen to the right. You've got one of those in your truck. Talk about what's on that screen.
So Holly has came together with us to help make sure that everything is great. The performance is there with Holly, and they've done such a great job at being able to reinvent the fuel systems for these monster trucks. And Adam is just throwing it to this Monster Jam truck. Gravedigger is going to not leave in one piece.
He has the second highest freestyle average on this series, just behind Colt Stevens, but the difference is the wins on the season, and a great job for Adam Anderson in Gravedigger big air, and gets all the way across the track. He's going to slow it down coming off that ramp. He's got to restart it once again, so that's twice now he has had to stop on the track, but he is not done yet. He is back at it, and look at the wide open track. He's going to go for the 8-pack backflip, and he gets it up on top of the ramp on 2 wheels, sideways, and lands it on all 4 tires.
Adam seems like he might be having an electrical issue, so I wouldn't be surprised if this truck cut off again. But that's the nature of the beast. I mean, these are machines, they're going to break, and we're going to get back to the drawing board in the middle of the week. But that was a heck of a freestyle run, and if that can't go for first place, Bryce has done a great job.
I know some of these saves are not intentional. It looked like Adam Anderson was just stuck in the dirt, wasn't moving, but was able to save it. And look at that. He looks surprised himself. 9.346. That's going to move him up into second place. So Bryce Kenny and Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior will get the freestyle win, but an incredible run for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. And here's a look inside as he falls back on all 4 tires. But look at the excitement. That's what we want to see from Bryce Kenny. His night is tonight in Syracuse.
Now, I think that they're so excited that they've broke the curse, because all season it's been battling them as a team. Mohawk Warrior, they're in the winner's circle tonight, and it feels great for them.
So Bryce Kenny, Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior, gets 14 points for his big freestyle win, his second on the season. And tonight it seemed like everything was going his way in freestyle. Let's send it down to the track with Leslie Mears and Bryce Kenny.
Bryce, you told me you came in with a plan tonight, and it looks like you and Scott fully executed that on the track to bring home a freestyle victory for the team.
Well, I've said in the past that we're going to go 9 rounds with this Grey Clips Mohawk Warrior truck all season long, and so this was our shot at redemption. The truck is healthy, it cooperated all night long, and so we were ready to just come out there and have some fun. The truck held together great, and we just want to come out there and win. Man, I was so tired of losing. Sometimes you just get so sick of losing, you've got to come out and win. And so thankfully the Carrier Dome was on my side tonight. We just had a blast.
Let's take a look at the overall point standings from the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. Adam Anderson 39 to Neil Elliott's 35. Bryce Kenny's going to take those 14. He will finish in third. But that battle at the top, it was freestyle being all the difference when it comes to our winner.
Oh, for sure. But every competition matters. And at this end of the season, you got to make sure that you're getting the points that you need. And Adam was able to do that tonight.
Let's hear from our event champion, Adam Anderson, Gravedigger.
Adam, you told me earlier that the only thing that agitates you in the truck is when you get shut off during your freestyle run. How much harder did you drive after you got shut off tonight?
It is. It's very frustrating. It kills all your momentum in your run, because you want to go out there and you want to lay it down. Win or lose, I want to lay it down, and I couldn't do that the way I wanted to. And it wasn't the officials shutting me off. It wasn't anything. It was truck. I could actually see the main power switch shutting off. It was landing so hard, and I was getting so mad, I could have ripped that joker right out of there, but I couldn't get a hold of it long enough, man. But guess what? All that anger, it drove us to a win.
Yeah, and you pick up the overall event championship tonight, but most importantly, you pick up 4 points on Neil Elliott going into the home stretch, the final event.
You know, leading into the final event, and oh, that's 4 points. That's not a lot, man. I'd like to be a little more out ahead of Neil Elliott, so that's easily made up. We could be off next time, but hopefully we're not, and Team Digger comes out on top.
So a tight race heading into the final event. You heard Adam, 4 points, not a whole lot. That could be made up in one competition.
And especially with the guy that's behind you, Neil Elliott and Max D. I mean, that guy is a madman in a machine, and anything can happen, man.
When it comes to racing, Adam Anderson seems to have Neil Elliott's number. It's the opposite of the two-wheel skills challenge. Freestyle seems to be the wild card. I've said that before. When it comes to this series, it's all going to boil down to freestyle. So the back and forth battle continued here in Syracuse. Gravedigger wins racing. Max D wins the Great Clips Two-Wheel Skills Challenge, with Bryce Kenny and the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior steal the show with a big freestyle win. It's all going to come down to Philadelphia for this point series. 4 points separate our top two again. Adam Anderson, Neil Elliott, Gravedigger, Max D. You've driven both of them. Of course, you're a Gravedigger driver now, Morgan, but in your unbiased opinion, who do you think is taking that automatic bid to World Finals?
Well, I feel like there's a lot of great drivers on this tour, but there's only one automatic bid into the Monster Jam World Finals, and we'll have to wait to see at the end of the season who ends up on top.
Join us in Orlando. Get your tickets now at monsterjam.com. Find us on social media at Monster Jam. For Morgan Kane, Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. We'll see you next time. Good night. For the first time ever, we will crown 7 world champions as Monster Jam World Finals comes to the East Coast. It's May 10th and 11th at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. You'll see an elevated start, an adrenaline-fueled, amped-up event with bigger jumps, including a world record attempt at an epic 7-truck jump. It's Monster Jam World Finals 20 in Orlando. Tickets are still available. Get your tickets now at monsterjam.com.